right, here we go. So we are now casting. We're doing week 2, Exhort League. We've got Big Chig All-Stars playing against No Limits. This game took place yesterday. Did not get a live cast, I don't believe, but we're going to do it now. You're with me, Drum Pounder.
Hello, everyone.
And yeah, we played.
We have no idea what's about to happen, so
Yeah.
it'd be like we're watching it live.
Exactly. Big Chig All-Stars, we played them last week. It was a good showing. 1-1. Let's see how they fare versus No Limits. No Limits, a team that I don't really know much about. I didn't do too much looking into, but I'm sure we're going to play these guys in the coming weeks. So
Yeah, let's be honest. This is a little bit of we're selfishly casting so we can scout out our opposition.
Exactly.
We're checking you out, No Limits.
Mm-hmm.
I already saw the devastation that came from the Big Chig All Stars in the first week matchup.
Yeah. Check out what this big dad energy is all about.
Yeah, curious to see what that's all about.
We already got the OD ban. Wish we had that one last week, right?
They must have, yeah, they had to have seen Ludacris go absolutely ballistic with the OD.
A strong leader has an escape for the team. That's always kind of handy to have on the core.
Not sure if you're seeing on your screen links, but Big Chig All Stars first ban isn't showing what hero it was for me.
Oh, yeah. I wonder if I just need to. Here, maybe I'll pull it back. Speed it up a little bit, just so it comes out.
Interesting.
Oh, weird. Yeah, it's not coming out for me either.
All right, so we don't know what we don't know that first ban. Now we don't know. Now the other one's not showing.
Oh my
What's
gosh.
happening here?
What if I do this? And then there we go.
There we
That
go.
seems to
So
have fixed it.
the Jakiro was banned. That's probably a good choice.
Bit of graphic card. Just need to load up the image. Jakiro banned strong. I mean, we ran with a Jakiro in our game this week, and it's always just feels good to have that in the back line, ready to put down ice path, attack slows, move slows, and Macropyre is just a beautiful thing to have in a team fight.
Yeah, he's so versatile. You know, like you said, big alt, but also just tanks up really nicely. Kind of can doesn't get bursted down the same as other supports. Okay, we get the ban on the Tiny. And there's the Warlock. I don't think we've seen first round of, or at least the first round of bans, and not have the Warlock banned in almost every game we see these days.
It was a bristleback ban.
Somebody on Big Chig, I think, plays. I'm not sure, but I think that's one of the heroes. I think gets picked a lot from Big Chig All-Stars.
We ended up playing against it in game 1. And that's why, no, game 2. That's why I ended up playing the Viper to counter that bristle.
10 seconds to pick.
And a drow ban.
Hurry, hurry.
That's a solid ban.
Radiant team pick.
Done.
Yeah.
Abaddon solid ban. Provides a lot of sustain for a team. Good saves. Gives you that nice sort of like frontliner that can just absorb a hit. You suddenly get jumped on, that hero with its ultimate can absorb something unexpected.
And that low cooldown on the heal has made the heal build on Abaddon just that much more popular. And if you can, if it hasn't been banned, you're probably going to scoop it. There's the Lich.
Yeah.
Smart pick. Why wouldn't you take Lich? Undying? I love it.
Undying, good hero too. I personally kind of like to play Undying sort of the same as Abaddon, where you're focused on the healing. I know you've played quite a bit Undying yourself.
Yeah, I think this is a really flexible pick. I think it's a good one to, you know, kind of go with for your first choice, because you can put Undying. in my opinion, for sure, 5, +4, and even a 3. Although may not recommend the 3 in a tournament game. It is fun to do.
Mhm.
Dragon Knight, taking away some of that beef, because I think if you let them pair that up and you've got a Dragon Knight and an Undying coming at you, that's a scary thing. That's a good ban.
For sure.
Big Chig.
Vector 2 is seeing a lot of that hero goes in Orchid with its global ulti. It's kind of able to quickly scoop up a kill while it's still doing its farming in pause 1.
Wow, it's amazingly short cooldown on the Spectre, and it allows you to focus on tempo, and it's probably a good call to have that come out. Takes away a lot of a lot of global.
Mhm. And the damage resist, any hero that has this sort of like built-in damage resistance, you put healing behind that. It's just that much more of a,
Dire team pick.
it's just like a synergy between both having a
And
lot
now,
of health, but then protecting that health.
yeah, now here's a ban that you might be able to explain better, because you didn't
Radiant
want
team
it
are now
yesterday
picking.
either, and the
Crystal
Death
Maiden.
Prophet gets banned out.
Yeah, the Death Prophet ban yesterday for us was specific for the team we're playing against. It was against the Lemur Legion, and I played a game with them last night, and one of the guys was afterwards he was saying one day in this
Only
tournament we're
10
gonna get to play that
seconds.
DP.
That Spirit Siphon, just
5
such
seconds
a
remain.
powerful ability too.
Mm-hmm.
Radiant team
Well,
pick.
Crystal Maiden comes out,
Wraith King.
and Wraith King.
I haven't seen much
Wow.
of this recently, but I do like it. Gives you a nice sort of like centerpiece to your team fight. The 2 lives, sort of
10
like the
seconds
Abaddon
to
ult.
pick.
It's like you know you've got this hero that can
5 seconds.
absorb
Hurry,
a sudden
hurry.
surprise hit on you. Kind of dissuades the enemy team from.
Dire
You end
team
up having to
pick.
initiate on it. It's a team fight that you're kind of starting off
Solid
on a bad
support.
foot.
Solid support pick coming out with Big Chig. I think Lich and Shaman just, wow, that's a lot of damage. That's a lot of control. There's some tons of tools here, and a stun on the Wraith King.
Only
It's going to
10
be interesting to
seconds.
see what Wraith King decides to do for the facet,
5
because
seconds
either way,
remain.
he's got the, with Reincarnate, he can survive a long fight and take out a Tombstone. Um, if he goes for the skeletons, he's going to have some real good potential just to take a lot of map and a lot of farm.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
it's early to tell. Really,
Dire team pick.
looking at those 3 heroes on the top there. Night Stalker, powerful. Wow.
It's a scary hero to go up against, especially if you're squishy like Shadow Shaman and Lich. And having an AoE silence is it's kind of a
Yeah.
trickier
10
thing to
seconds
kind of
pick.
deal with.
Oh, I think that's a huge pick right there. You just
5
added so
seconds.
much beef to
Hurry,
your lineup,
hurry.
and that silence is going to be pretty huge. Wow, Lone Druid.
Speaking of beef,
Speaking of beef, no kidding. Now we have a bear.
that is a lot of health on the side of No Limit so far. I mean, I was a little bit worried
Only
about
10
their tower
seconds.
push. Compared to Big Chick All Stars, if Wraith King does go the skeletons,
5
that's
seconds
quite a bit of
remain.
decent tower push they've got. But Lone Druid can also kind of do the same. The bear ends up having a bonus damage to towers, so you can take towers down quite quickly.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see which way he goes with it. I don't know. That's a lot of. Oof. It's just a lot of HP already. These heroes, other than the crystal, but she'll be able to provide a lot of relatively low mana pools on these heroes. They're going to benefit a lot from the aura.
I'm curious to see what facet the Lone Druid goes. They do have this third new facet where the hero gets only half an inventory, but then the 3 items are doubled, or certain stats of items can be doubled on them. It's some really interesting builds that you can do.
I think it just accelerates your potential. Those are gonna be bigger power spikes when you consider putting those items on the bear are gonna be
Dire's
doubled.
ban.
Yeah, Yeah, you go 3 Wraith Bands on Lone Druid in like 10 minutes. Those Wraith Bands are like, the stats on the Wraith Bands are doubled, and it's like the hero's just kind of scary to go against.
No kidding. I didn't know that. That's really interesting. Ursa gets banned out. Lycan gets picked.
10
Ooh,
seconds to pick.
I think
Lycan's
we're
an
gonna see.
interesting one too. This is good. I'm
5
really
seconds
liking
remaining.
the lineup so far.
I think we're gonna see full-on aggression here, and could we, dare I say it, could we see the Wolf Brothers and that wolf bite going on the Wraith King here?
Oh yes. Oh, that'd be good.
You know,
Who's some
when
good
Knights,
heroes that receive that wolf bite? Wraith King definitely. Um,
he's a big one. Sven is always a lot of fun, but I think any big carry with the
Anything
big
that
crit,
likes to move fast and right click.
yeah. Viper gets banned out. Not too surprised with that. I guess we're looking at some mid picks here. Both teams probably looking for their mid. Um, we'll see. I'm assuming Ludacris will be playing mid for Big Chig.
Only 10 seconds.
Yeah, not 100% sure who the mid player is on No Limits.
5 seconds. Hurry,
Canine
hurry.
Gonna
Hector
find-
is a familiar name to me. I don't know why, but when I see it, I'm like, I recognize that name.
Could see a Queen of Pain, but maybe not.
We
Just such
played
a.
these guys 2 years ago, or not? No
I think we
Limits.
did.
Radiance ban.
Morphling ban.
It's an interesting one.
Haven't haven't seen a lot of Morphling lately, but
Yeah, I mean,
maybe one
I
of the players plays them.
did look a bit into the Big Chig All Stars before we played them, and Morphling wasn't something that came up for me. So I wonder
10 seconds
if
to
maybe
pick.
there's.
They were running low on time. Could have
5
been one of
seconds
those things. You
remaining.
just had to get one out.
Hmm. Yeah, they only got 24-second reserve time on the No Limits. Still a full minute and a bit. Big Chig. They're probably picking. I mean, like in probably pause 3, Wraith King probably pause 1. They're probably picking a mid at this point. And
Radiant team are now picking.
I mean, Necrophos, not great into Night Stalker with a silence, but he's in a good position, and you manage to just get Night Stalker half of his health down, then you can kind of just quickly take him out with the Reaper Scythe. It would be a
You
nice
5
know,
pickup for
seconds.
their against Lone Druid as well.
I think I may have been a little bit
5
off on the
seconds.
call. We're
Hurry,
probably looking for
hurry.
pause one on No Limits. PA ban comes out, kind of makes me think Lone Druid will be in the mid lane.
Yeah,
Um, yeah,
can play a Lone Druid decently in position 1, but the hero tends to quite lane well on its own, so usually that hero, and the hero likes to have levels too, so the mid lane's good for him.
and that being said, knowing that Lycan could also potentially be in that mid position.
Mhm. I don't the PA.
I just don't think they want someone jumping on the Lich and the Shaman with a big crit burst.
I'm a little bit worried that No Limits currently doesn't have a great way of locking down the Lycan.
Wow. Adding some beef to the lineup and some mobility and some global as well. Dawnbreaker, pretty solid pick, I think.
Yeah, the
10 seconds to
Dawnbreaker.
pick.
I think Big Chick All Stars in Game 1 played a Dawnbreaker mid, so that might be a Dawnbreaker mid that we're seeing. And there's a Lifestealer.
Goodness gracious, there's the life stealer. Well,
Yeah, we've been seeing a lot of that hero lately.
all right, hats, excellent looking hats, especially that
Oh,
Night Stalker.
waiting on Lycan and Dawnbreaker.
Yeah, hopefully they're done. Looking all right. Lycan, not quite there. Undying, I like it. Hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. Lich is sporting a lot of shiny goods. I like the Lycan's that hit on it. one. Night Stalker one's interesting too. It's strict. Ah, I don't know. I can't choose.
I know this is about 50-50. They're both looking good. I'm gonna give it to gee. I'm gonna give it to No Limits on this one because I like that Life Stealer. I think there's a little just seems to be some sort of harmony to it, and I don't think they intended that, but seems to be a theme. I'm gonna give them the hats for the theme.
Yeah, I'm seeing more things that I haven't seen before on the No Limit side. I agree
But
with you there.
about a 50-50. Looking forward to watching this game here.
Yeah, should be good. Game one. Hopefully game one. When I was selecting the rewatch of this, it doesn't actually specify which game one, game two, but I'm assuming it's in chronological order. If I messed this up, then I apologize in
Regardless, right or
advance.
wrong, this is going to be called as game one for the remainder of the cast.
Did you see that Dawnbreaker stat? Their last game, they were 30 and I didn't see the deaths, but 30 kills on a Dawnbreaker. That's working overtime on that.
Unbelievable.
Well, let's get it.
I'm
shall
glad
we?
we weren't playing.
Okay, so I'm going to do some introductions here. So I'm going to start off, sure, why not? Let's start with the No Limit side. So we got Kid Magic playing the Night Stalker. On the CM, we've got On the Ocean, Slaymate playing the Lone Druid, Waste Manager playing the Life Stealer, and last but not least, Big Dad Energy playing the Undying. Looking over to our Big Jig All Stars, we got Lyra playing the Lycan. We've got Dawnbreaker being played by Ludacris, I'm guessing in the mid lane.
Interesting.
They smoke up Chigurni Weaver playing the Wraith King. We've got B-Dub on the Lich, and last but not least, we've got El Admiral playing the Shadow Shaman. The Big Chigs smoked up. They are checking out the dire side of the map. But both teams just kind of on opposite sides here, likely not to have a big clash here for the bounty
Well, I
runes.
really hope this match ends up being of any cosmic significance.
Nope, everybody's just going to secure the runes, move on to the lanes here. Let's see what we have for our lane matchups.
Does this work? I do have my directed camera, so I might be doing a bit weirdness with the camera. I did set up the assisted camera, but I might need to.
Following your camera link, so I'll call whatever I see and see how it goes here.
Directed camera? Free camera? Free camera. Let's go free camera. There we go. Okay, so in the bottom lane, we've got Lich and the Lycan in the safe lane versus the Night Stalker and the Undying. Your thoughts on this lane?
Well, I think there's definitely some benefit to having a little bit of range in the lane. Gonna need to watch for how many decay stacks Big Dad Energy here can get on the heroes, because if you can get 2 or 3 stacks on this Lich, one void from the Night Stalker and a couple right clicks and he's down. So that being said, I think Lycan's gonna likely just try to play it safe and take as much as he can. I wouldn't want to initiate on these two, especially once the tombstone's up. And that's really what they're going to be looking for.
Got a near
No
kill
limit.
here. On the
Shaman's just going to get away with it.
One
Under the
health.
tower, it's not going to be enough.
First blood there.
And that might be
Life Stealer
that
goes
might
down
be-
too.
Wow.
Good tower dive. Ended up going well for No Limits there, securing the first blood. But that was the position 1 though, so he's missing out on a bit of farm and XP here. Let's take a look at mid. Looks like Slaymate, the bear's getting a bit low already. Ludacris on the Dawnbreaker. What's that kill bottom? we missed out on. Lich goes down to the tombstone, most likely.
Yeah, looking like again probably just getting one too many stacks on the Lich, and really doesn't take much after that.
Chigarni Reaver getting a little bit low health here. He does have no regen yet, but Admiral has some tangles there ready to give him.
I'm sure he's hoping for a pull here in that no limit safe lane.
But Slaymate sent his bear back to the fountain to regen. I love that move. You just end up losing a bunch of health on the bear initially, but you can just send it back to the fountain and regen it while you're still getting your XP and your gold.
Right, you're not losing XP exactly. Probably looking to see maybe a little bit, playing a little bit safer in the bottom lane here. Wolves came out.
Did this sun catch your eyes?
Last hits. Look like Night Stalker's leading the charge in the off lane here for no limits.
Yeah, yeah, he's just such a powerful force in the lane. A little bit of damage coming out top lane.
Big Dad Energy's coming to help out the bounty rune.
I think Ludicrous wants to put the pressure on the mid lane here and might be getting some support. I don't know if he sees him.
In the top lane,
Wraith King getting really low. The shackles come out.
Rage.
That's going to be Wraith King down, but the Lifestealer goes down as well.
How does that work with XP? Does the XP not get given until Wraith King? I guess you see here, right? So
Yeah, I've
Chigarni
never checked.
Weaver. Yeah, so even though they killed the Wraith King first because of that sort of delay, because he got the last right click on in that ghost form, he actually ended up getting the XP for that, and the Lifestealer didn't. Kind of a funny interaction of the hero.
So not a great trade, all said and done on that one. But again, Ludicrous doing just such a bang up job, securing last hits, being aggressive. You know, I haven't seen a lot of Dawnbreakers mid, but definitely having a good time in the mid lane right now. Not afraid to deal some damage.
Shaman taking hits here. He's gonna go
Up and
down to
move,
the
one of the
Lifestealer. Oh, there's
Shaman.
the
He's gonna
cluster
get away
cluck.
with it.
Dire's top tower
He's
is
got the
under
boots
siege.
to move, but Lifestealer
Lifestealer
has movement speed.
Committed to this.
Oh, the
He's not
shackle,
letting
but
him get
no,
away
the
from-
frost on the CM secures that kill. But Lifestealer getting low here.
Again,
That's gonna get
that's
him.
gonna
That's
be
gonna
it.
get him. Nice. We see
I
the
guess
Wraith King does have the Spectral Blade facet. Securing
which is
that kill.
yeah. I'm not surprised that we're seeing that. That's typically the build that I've been seeing on Wraith King. But again, Lifestealer having a bit of a tough lane, tough go right now. I think it might be the third death.
They're going on this Shadow Shaman here
try to-
again. Yeah, I don't think he has Cluster Cluck this time. If he does, right?
Get pulled down.
It goes
Gets
back every time
away,
he dies. He gets a down refresh on it. E-dub
but
now
Wraith King gonna need to be careful here.
coming in with the rotation. Interesting pressure the Big Dad Energy is bringing up here with the tri-lane right now. Making sure
Yeah,
this
he's not confined to any one lane. He's moving around the map and trying to add some presence wherever he goes, but quite a bit of pressure happening in that top lane. Lycan's got to be careful because it's nighttime, and that's time for Night Stalker to kind of run at you and do his thing.
stun goes out.
Sun comes out on the DM. Open wounds on the Wraith King. Shackles.
3v3 on the top lane here. Looks like, yeah, Lyra fell to the Night Stalker. Didn't have to commit the ultimate to it. I guess just kind of ran them down. Lifestalker does have the phase boots in nighttime. That's a decent amount of movement speed and damage. Well, it's hard to say. What are your predictions on these lineups? We're seeing too much of
Well,
the game here. What do you think has the lineup advantage?
at the moment, I'd have to give it to the big Chig All Stars. I think that this Night Stalker is going to continue to be a real problem for them for probably the rest of the game. But I think Ludicrous is going to start moving around the map probably within the next few minutes, and if they can get a snowball rolling down the hill, they might have enough momentum. It depends if they can keep waste management on the Lifestealer. If they can keep his farm down, not really allow him to get anything. Could be looking for a tempo game and a fast finish.
Dire's middle tower taking damage.
I like the Lone Druid pick, but always kind of a wild card. Like, I've seen some Lone Druids do some amazing things with this hero. If they can keep the tempo up, the hero kind of snowballs if you can manage it in the early game.
Level 6 coming out on the Wraith King right away. I'll have that now. And be looking to that arm to build an armlet.
Got the 3 heroes from No Limits in the bottom lane right now. Also be looking at a gank hero on their pause 1.
Still nighttime, they gotta be careful.
Yeah, they definitely don't have, like, just the Lich's Sinister Gaze and a bit of slow out of the Frost Blast, but no real crowd control out of Lycan. Funky hero,
Gotta be
but
careful.
there goes the ult. In comes a
Gonna pop
teammate,
that
so the
silence, and that's not gonna
Dawnbreaker is
take
coming
much.
in now. Out the CM
Huge
ult.
ult coming from CM here.
It's going to be enough to take down their mid. And the Lich, and Lycan just has to commit his wolf form to just run out of there.
Radiant's bottom
It's a
tower
pure
is being
escape.
attacked.
Yeah, great movements around the map from Undying. It just seems that wherever the action is, he's there. He's dropping Tombstone. He's
Bottom tower under fire.
getting decay stacks.
What you want to see out of your position for is being able to make some of these early plays happen and
Being attacked.
having to apply pressure onto the map, onto the tier 1s.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Ludicrous just TP's right onto that Night Stalker. It is daytime.
He wants to fight, he wants to
But
stop.
Undying is here. He's popped his ult. Doesn't have Tombstone. Ludicrous.
The decay stacks are just really strong this early in the game.
Lich goes down.
Radiant's bottom tower is being attacked.
There's just enough damage right now for them to kind of run over them a little bit in this bottom lane. Oh, mid. Looks like the Lone Druid is going to pick up a kill on the Lycan. Does have a Midas. And just Ironwood branches, but all you need is this Barret just to attack fast and quickly, and a few like lucky hits with a root, and
Radiant's middle tower is taking damage.
her to play into that hero.
An action in the top lane again. Big Dad Energy just involved with everything on this map. A couple of decay stat and the Lifestealer pops out. That's going to be it for Shadow Shaman. Crystal Nova to finish it off.
There's definitely some spells that just handle the cluster club.
Back here, not going to be able to take this. Reincarnate's going to come out. He's going to just need to run.
Alt is committed there, but they do pick up a kill on the Shadow Shaman. Now it looks like they're gonna push here. They do have a catapult wave coming, even though he's getting it down a little bit.
Dire's middle tower.
Wants to make sure it's deniable. Dawnbreaker is gonna come to
I
hell.
just want to secure something here and they'll take the crystal.
Good defense. And looks like we got pings for Lone Druid to push mid out, and that's probably the right move. You see how quickly this bear is just gonna chomp this.
Quick reaction from Luda. Hits the Starbreaker. Now he's He's focusing that energy on the bear. They're just going to get back, but
Yeah, so this is an interesting facet. I've never played this facet myself, but when you ult as Lone Druid, it's your bear that transforms. And I think it's just more attack speed and more health? I don't know. What does this do for the Lone Druid? Bonus armor, more attack speed.
yeah, I'm not going to lie, Lynx. That was the first time I've seen that happen. Pretty interesting. And the Wraith King goes down here, a little slow on our call, but huge pressure coming out from No Limits. Just rolling with 4 and finding a kill on the Wraith King and the Shadow Shaman. Mid is going to go down here.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Towers are now starting to fall on this 13-minute mark.
Tower is under siege.
Both teams just are able to apply a whole lot of pressure early. It's like both of the teams want to kind of create a snowball at each other, but
Radiant's top tower is being attacked.
it's working a little better on the No Limit side for now.
Radiant has lost their top tower.
Wraith King going for an armlet. I think that's a good first item to kind of for this hero. Gives you a little more tankiness, but also a decent amount of damage. He's going to walk into Lifestealer and Crystal Maiden up here, though. He doesn't have his ult. He needs to be careful.
Shadow Shaman's going to be looking to get those shackles down. The Crystal is going down. Night Stalker in on the cleanup crew. Silence is out.
Gets support for support at that exchange. Night Stalker working on a blink. Does have the phylactery. I'm a firm believer in the Night Stalker phylactery. It's such a power spike for this hero. As soon as laning stage is over, the hero can just kind of go around and huge nuke damage to squishy heroes.
Starbreaker, the lone druid bear is about to go down.
I'm curious what happens to the
Just-
bear if
just-
it does
just
go
made it out.
down, and if he respawns
300
it.
gold for the Dawnbreaker.
It does respawn in the form. Yeah,
That it was killed in.
transformed. Yeah. Good to know. I mean, playing No Limits, I mean, Lone Druid is definitely a ban that we have to consider here. We can have
Yeah,
a
he's
good way
gonna-
to deal with it.
Stun comes out. Lifestealer's going to pop Rage. Shadow Shaman taking a lot of damage. Dawnbreaker coming in. Lifestealer pops out.
Lich Ult is out.
And the Lich
Getting
Ult
some
is
good
down.
bounces.
Getting optimal bounces here. And Wraith King just kind of hanging in there and dealing damage, but he's going to go down. Ludicrous is going to have to try to get out. It's the Starbreaker. Crystal Nova comes out. Wow. Wow. And that's going to be it for Wraith King.
It's a really challenging fight for the big Chig All Stars. Like, there's just so much meat on these heroes. Trying to decide which target to kind of get. I mean, certainly CM is a good first pick to get in these early fights, but you're just not in the right position for it. You have to commit yourself to, I mean, one tanky hero that can just kind of run away from you if it wants. Lone Druid, like, not an easy hero to take down by any means.
No, not at all. They're just moving. They're moving around the map together.
Radiant's top tower is under siege.
You know, in a really cohesive way right now. No Limits is definitely picking up some of that momentum.
Dire's
They're
bottom
gonna get
tower
the
is under
gonna get the bear again here.
Yeah, no, it doesn't have a bear to come back for 20 seconds. I think the Lone Druid's gonna go down here. Night Stalker coming in
Dawnbreaker's
with a
in
big
bit of trouble
silence.
here. Huge damage coming from the Night Stalker. Lich goes down, and Wraith King doesn't have his reincarnate. They weren't prepared to defend here.
Radiant's middle tower is taking damage.
Only 3 on 4.
Middle tower for Radiant. Dire's bottom tower is being attacked. Radiant's middle tower is being attacked.
What kind of lineup does well against this sort of like meaty snowball that comes rolling at you right as soon as laning stage ends?
Middle tower is being attacked.
I'm not sure a whole lot I can think of is going to do better at this tempo, at this pace. I think that power spike might come later, but you're going to need a heck of a lot of time to get there, and they're not letting you have that time. Even, you know, and I don't think Night Stalker's the target here. I think they want You know, they want you to chase the Night Stalker because they are
Radiant's
a lot of
middle tower has fallen.
big damage and things to kill you if you chase them too far.
Gold remains.
Solar Crest on Big Dad Energy. Playmate. Working on the Agnum Scepter.
Taking down some stacks.
It's going to allow the bear to kind of run freely. The Agnums is weird on Lone Druid. Depending on whether you put it on the hero or the bear, it does different things. I have not played this hero recently enough to think if it's on the hero itself, then
Dire's middle tower taking damage.
it changes Spirit Link, providing more armor, attack speed. But if you put it on the bear, then the bear is allowed to kind of run freely from Lone Druid and still attack. Keep an eye on which...
You still see this last hit advantage here on the Lycan and the Dawnbreaker. I'm not sure if, you know, if they slow that tempo down and find a way to farm up a bit. You know,
You see how the last hits aren't translating to net worth much. All three of the cores on No Limits on the top of the net worth list.
and I think when you got 25 kills, there's no surprise there.
For sure.
But trying to lean into, you know, what is working for them and what do they need to do to kind of slow the pace here and maybe win the next couple fights.
The BKB will do well to ensure that Ludicrous can kind of stay in the fights a little bit better and do some damage.
Couple items, and I think the Tormentor in a minute here is going to be important. If you can get a shard on Lich at this point, it's going to really improve that team fight potential with his ult.
Heard this Lycan went Midas, but I mean it's good to sort of translate into golden experience if you're on your back feet, but also not good for the mid game team fighting if that's kind of all you've got.
And No Limits is looking here to keep the aggression on. They're coming into the triangle. They're going to have to drop snakes. And that's going to be it. The Shadow Shaman goes down.
CM ult.
Big ult on the CM here.
Wraith is coming back to get just eaten again.
Just completely melted. I mean, these guys are swarming. No Limits, just absolutely devastating in the triangle.
I mean, it's hard at this point once No Limits has such control of the map. You can see that their vision is deeply within the Radiant side of the map, and hard for Big Chig All-Stars to be able to mount a... It's going to be high ground defense at this point.
Like, Bear's going to go down here.
Decent amount of gold.
They planned for that. The gold's nice, but...
You have the Agnum Scepter on the bear now, so the bear can just roam free. Doesn't kill the hero when you kill the bear, but does still provide a decent amount of XP and gold. Like they want to group up. Big Chig All-Stars want to take back their jungle here. And No Limits backing it off. They won't catch anybody.
I think they got to be very careful here.
The bear, but...
Bear is, you know, you're going to spend a lot of time, energy, and abilities to take it down. They'll get it.
Maybe?
Maybe not. Never mind.
Got decent movement speed. 475 base movement speed on this here. The bear, like...
Bear don't care. Bear just ran away. He's going to go heal up.
You can see there's just kind of a damage deficit. It's like there's just not quite enough damage right now on Big Chig All-Stars to be able to get the kill there.
It's getting harder to create an element of surprise as No Limits has just moved across the map as a cohesive unit so well throughout this game.
They're going to take the Tormentor now.
Great objective. I think both teams should be moving towards their Tormentors, and now would probably be a good time for Big Chig to do that as well.
Yeah, and deward their triangle as well. They still have one ward that went unseen. This ward here. Definitely good vision to kind of provide No Limits with an understanding of what their No Chig All-Stars are up to. Guessing they're looking at Roche at the moment.
Dire's top tower is destroyed.
Yeah, Roche seems like the next likely objective here. Waste management on the Lifestealer finishing up the Radiance. 22 minutes, nothing wrong with that. Just scoping out the Roche.
I agree, Billy. Bear. More like brr. He's going boots of travel now for the bear.
Got that shard on the Undying. He's just hanging out in the tombstone here.
He wants no part of this. The cops come and see them wailing on Roche. He's just gonna hide in there and say, I wasn't part of this.
Sean's petition to continue living peacefully.
What items do we want to see on? Got a Blink Dagger coming out for Shadow Shaman. It will help with initiation, but it might not be so helpful for keep himself alive.
Dire's middle
What does the
tower
Cluster
is
Cluck go for?
See that silence coming out. Dawnbreaker's going to be coming in here, but Lich
Does get the
manages
ult
to
off.
gets the Chain Frost out.
It is mostly just bouncing between these neutral golems, unfortunately. Snakes are out. Wraith coming back for another health, but
Lyra just needs to play it safer. Looking for that pick is going to get the Undying. Tons of damage coming out on the Wraith King. Snakes are still doing a little bit of work, but these guys are so beefy. Ludicrous going to look for any way to get out of this. Fear and just locked down. That's going to be a team wipe.
you see the benefit of this Agnums. Even if they take down the lone druid, the bear is still in there, ready to continue wailing on any hero it wants to.
Dire's middle tower is being attacked.
Nightstalker with the Blink Dagger and just the AoE silence. I think it's just really crippling these supports. Unable to I mean, half of their crowd control out of these supports is channeling, so as soon as the fear goes out on them,
Their towers.
out goes their crowd control.
Radiant's bottom tower is being attacked.
The tier 2 tower does go down.
Tower has
We do have one left in the top lane.
They're looking to fight here. Again, just terrifying when that Night Stalker jumps on you, but Lich able to kind of move back here. Wraith King is still in. Feeling some damage.
3v5 at the moment. 3v5? 4v5. The bear is there.
Without the reincarnate, this is a really risky play coming out from Wraith King.
Let's Doctor in. Wraith
Oh
King
my
down.
goodness, this
Cluster Cluck out, but
there's just way too much power coming out from No Limits.
managed to get up on the cliff. Might be able to escape here. Nice escape there by Luda.
Ludicrous with unbelievable TP on the top of the hill.
Looks like No Limits is just gonna push this top here, or the bottom lane here now. Support's coming back up. Power does go down.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Not sure if they were gonna be able to defend this. This is gonna be a Rax for No Limits.
Rax going down
Radiant's bottom barracks has fallen.
at an incredible pace for 26 minutes into the match. Big Chig, no choice but to give it another shot here. The shackles come out, they don't hold him down, and that'll be it for the Rax. You might be able to get the bear, but at what cost? Huge silence from the Night Stalker.
You're chasing.
And they're chasing him into the fountain.
Not looking good so far for Big Chig. We're gonna
No, I
now
think-
drop the mid Rax here.
I think the tempo and the pace here just was too much to keep up with, and
Top tower is being
Just
attacked.
pull in, but nothing to lock down beyond that.
Radiant's middle tower Dire's top tower is being attacked.
You see how this lifestealer is just like, once it has the Radiance and Sanjasha, it's just kind of very uncomfortable to fight into. The hero can just shrug off
Tower is under siege.
any sort of magic crowd control that's doing to it.
Well, they all, like, so many of them, basically the entire draft, less Crystal, have huge health pools. It's just unbelievable.
The Wraith King now looking to get Radiance, but this stage in the game, it's gonna be a tough go. Like no limits are gonna move top. No Roshan to be had. I mean, they still have the Aegis, don't they? They're just gonna work on this last tier too. It just expires.
Radiant's top tower is under siege.
It's gonna be very hard for No CHIG to get back in this one. They've got a
No CHIG.
Wards.
Big
No, did I say No CHIG? Big
No
CHIG.
CHIG is the combination of both of these teams.
Oh no, this is my.
It's
What is that? Is that dyslexia? Is what I'm suffering from? I don't know.
Nah, you're good.
They are
It
going to
looks
go
like
up
they're
on the
just
high
going to
ground.
keep the pressure up here, and they've got big CHIG All-Stars on the back foot, and they're going to be looking for some high ground defense here.
Donald does
Ludicrous
go
coming
off.
in with the ult.
Donald's the Lich ult. It's bouncing around, making its rounds, but not doing much damage at all. BKB on the
Night
Lycan,
Stalker,
but
Night Stalker causing so much chaos in these fights.
Raz or the Conda on the Night Stalker too. It's so oppressive. Buybacks now for Big CHIG, but their tower goes down. See if they can do one last ditch effort here. Stalker coming, or Wraithkin coming back. Shaman down.
The sheer AoE of that silence is just so powerful.
It's too much.
Ludicrous being forced back into the fountain, taking damage.
You can see on the graph, it's just like, right from laning stage, it's just a steady decline.
Well, they moved around the map and just found the pickoffs and had that lead that, just became more and more as the game went on. Getting those item timings because of all the kills was really going to be a tough thing to come back from.
That's a snowball. How do you stop a snowball like this? Take a look at the stats after, but I mean, reflecting on the laning stages, it didn't seem too one-sided initially. They did have some good back and forths in the laning stage, but as soon as that ended, this Night Stalker just started running at them. It really became hard for Big CHIG to fight them off.
I think anytime you've got big beef like that with 4 heroes on the on the no limit side, that just they're so difficult to lane against. And
You can see how just like Night Stalker picks apart half this draft's ability to cast spells.
Yeah.
No magic play this well. This is what you want a Night Stalker to do. Completely just nullify their ability to cast spells, to even survive, right? Like squishy heroes are just gonna fall really quickly. 12 minutes, you have the phylactery. This hero has I'm guessing he went it, where's the talent? Yeah. No, he didn't even go with the talent. There's a plus 80 void damage talent. He opted to go to the plus 6 seconds ascension duration. instead.
Well, rightfully so. I mean, nighttime was the right time for Night Stalker this entire game, and he wasn't afraid to just he even walk under tower at times, because of that huge advantage that he has. But tough lane for Lyra on the Lycan.
I think 2 years ago, we play this team that they're called 2 years ago, but I remember they pulled a Lycan position one that we ended up getting rolled by. So it looks like they're attempting it here, but I don't know, it wasn't like they were trying to, it looked like they were trying to do the same thing No Limits was doing with their draft, but not quite as effective. They didn't have the Night Stalker. They position three Wraith King. I mean, I'm always kind of a bit weary of putting this hero in the position three. If it doesn't have a good lane, I mean, Armlet's fine, but like I don't know. There's just
No,
other
and
position three heroes that can just be so much more oppressive and so much more better at team fighting than Wraith King can.
I could not agree more. And when we were looking at the draft, at the beginning of the game, it was one of those things where I'm looking at it going, I really hope they don't do Wraith King 3 because although it can work, um, I don't know. In my experience, it doesn't. You have to have such an amazing lane and kind of hope that you're going up against some squishier heroes in the safe lane, which wasn't the case here.
I'd say like Knights or Lifestealer didn't necessarily had a great laning stage. Got a couple kills, but was taken down 3 times. Net worth kind of just okay for the laning stage.
Those 3 kills are when they happen at the particular that stage of the game that early, it doesn't feel good.
It didn't look like there was any significant lead in any of the lanes really initially. But as soon as laning stages ended, like you saw, they just grouped up and they just started winning team fights. Big
And that
part of
kind of
that.
eliminates the ability for Dawnbreaker to kind of do his thing and move around the map, and get some pickoffs. The pickoffs weren't really there. If you were going to ult in, you were ulting in on a team fight, and a lot of the team fights there was almost, I don't know, a high percentage where No Limits had at least one hero advantage in a lot of those team fights. So it was really tough, really tough.
Yeah, looks like Ludacris was kind of like just using the ultimate to kind of react to the fights that No Limits was pressuring on, which
Yeah.
really didn't work out. I think Undying maybe like was a big factor on it, right? And this hero,
Ugh.
its power spike is right at the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
The ability
Okay.
to suck away like the strength of the health of the enemy team is really strong.
Yeah, and you pair that up with a Night Stalker, and regardless of double melee, they don't care when you're getting double decay stacks at that stage, that early stage in the game. They're not going to be able to deal out the damage to really bother you anyway. So I'm excited to see what happens in the next match. It would be great to see how Big Chig sort of respond to No Limits and you know probably see some different bands coming out here and try to regroup and re-strategize. Come up with something to stop that tempo because once the pace got set by No Limits, they dictated the course of the match and kind of moved it along at their will.
Sure.
Well, it was a 30-minute game. I mean, that's half the time both of our games were yesterday, Links. Uh,
Yeah.
I think both games
Oh my
well over
gosh.
an hour.
Yeah. Our games yesterday were a marathon.
Nothing wrong with a shorter match, but ready for round two?
Yeah, do it. I'm gonna load it up. I mean, there's probably a better way to do this. Somebody's gonna educate me on this, or eventually I'm gonna look it up, but how to, without stopping the stream, separate out VODs. Probably is a way to do it.